Hey, I'm Sara Snow with another refreshed recipe. You may know this about me. I am a snack person. I like to have my breakfast, but I live on snacks all day long because I rarely ever sit down for an actual lunch. But snacks have to be healthy, they have to taste good, and I get really tired of the prepackaged store-bought snacks. So I've come up with some pretty darn good recipes for snack and breakfast bars. This is one of two that I am bringing you right here on Refreshed. These are my birdseed bars. For the birdseed bars, first thing we're going to start with is 2 cups of crushed up whole grain cereal. Now you could use a square, you could use a flake, whatever it is, make sure it's whole grain and then get in there with your hands and crush it up so the pieces are nice and small. You're also going to use 2 cups of oats. Don't use steel cut oats, don't use old-fashioned slow cooking oats. You want to use the quick cooking oats for this recipe because we're only going to be adding in a tiny bit of hot water at the end to, in essence, cook those oats. So 2 cups of cereal and 2 cups of oats. You also need 1/3 cup of chia seeds. These are the same seeds you've been hearing about since you were 10 years old and you saw the commercials singing cha-cha-cha-chia. You water the chia seeds and they grow like grass. Well, they also have tons of nutritional benefits, which is why you're hearing them talked about a lot these days. They're an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, phosphorus, calcium, protein. They help reduce belly fat. They help keep you full longer. They're great for your bones and your teeth. They're just an excellent healthy product to work into your baked goods whenever possible. So I'm using 1/3 cup of whole chia seeds in this recipe. Now you also need about 1 cup of dried fruit. I'm using 1/2 cup of raisins and then 1/2 cup of chopped unsulfured apricots. They're unsulfured, which makes them healthier for you, but that's why they're not that typical apricot color that you're used to. You could use dates, prunes, cherries, cranberries, whatever you have on hand, whatever you like best. Just make sure you chop them up a little bit so everything is a uniform size. So into a large bowl, I have poured my crushed cereal, my oats, my chia seeds, and all of my dried fruit, and I stir it around to mix it up a little bit. In a small saucepan, I am going to heat 1/3 cup of agave nectar. I like agave nectar because it's a natural plant-based sweetener. It comes from the same plant that is used for making tequila, but it's also low on the glycemic index, so it's good for people who need to watch their sugar intake. So in that saucepan, I will heat together 1/3 cup of agave nectar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to bring that to a low simmer and add in 1/3 cup of crunchy sunflower seed butter. Now because I'm using gluten-free oats, a gluten-free cereal, and sunflower seed butter as opposed to peanut butter or almond butter, this is a fantastic recipe for any families with food allergies. They're nut-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and gluten-free. And they're delicious, trust me. I'm choosing to use a crunchy sunflower seed butter because these are, after all, birdseed bars. Now, all of my wet ingredients have been heated together and I'm going to pour those into the bowl with all of the dry ingredients. Stir it around and then add in 2 tablespoons of very hot water. Just bring some water to a boil, let it cool for a second, and then pour in 2 tablespoons of water. You can add a little bit more if you need it. And with those chia seeds, because they absorb quite a bit of moisture, you might want to add a little bit more than the 2 tablespoons. Mix that together until it's nice and well blended. Now I'm taking a glass 9x13 baking dish that I have greased with an organic shortening. You want to make sure you grease it or spray it with something so the bars will pop out, but you may as well make it a healthy source. You could also use an olive oil spray on the pan as well. Now pour the mixture into the pan and then, don't skimp on time here, press that down into the pan. You really want to spend a couple minutes pressing it down so that all of the ingredients are mashed and congealed together. Then simply set the baking dish aside to let it cool. You could leave it on the counter for a couple hours or do as I did and pop it in the fridge overnight. Once the dish has cooled, slice them into bars. Take a look at those beautiful bars with all of that crunchy goodness, the dried fruit, the chia seeds, the sunflower seeds. This is a nutritionally dense, delicious breakfast or snack bar to have on hand at all times. Simply wrap them up individually in saran wrap or pile them up on a plate and grab them as you need them. A word to the wise though, if you decide to dine and dash on one of these birdseed bars, make sure you do a tooth check. Those little pesky chia seeds have a way of wedging their way in between your teeth. I got your back. I hope that you enjoy these birdseed bars as much as I do.